Dips. Hey y'all, what? It's so good to see you,
Hello.
Ronan. Thank you for coming up. There, get that straight. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm not. Okay,
I
I'll put
can
it up
I can
here.
hear you okay, but
Okay, this is where I usually have it. I can see it's moving. I don't. It's just been a long time, and it's my birthday, and I wanted to spend it with friends. So here we are.
happy birthday.
And the
What
link is.
kind of what's your favorite kind of birthday cake?
Oh goodness. That's a good question. I like cake. um, Man, that's hard to decide. Ridge Runner, good to see you. Thank you so much. I like pineapple upside down cake. I like just white cake, white frosting. I like Texas sheet cake. It's chocolate. Thank you so much, Virginia and Garrett. Good to see y'all. The link's pinned at the top if anybody wants to come up.
Now, do you have to have the ice cream with the birthday cake?
You know what? I have never been a big ice cream eater, only when it was homemade and then just a little bit. And I don't know why that is. Just
I don't know. I kind of see it differently now, Bonnie. I'm kidding.
and German chocolate. Yeah, German chocolate's good. Hey, Vicky. Good to see you.
Yeah, I heard the German chocolate cake was actually named after the guy who wrote the recipe. His name was German. I always thought it was like from Germany, you know? Maybe I'm
Yes.
wrong, but my most recent understanding is that it's actually that was the guy's name who wrote that recipe. But
Robbie, good to see you. Thank you. And Carl, add it's add 10 to that, Carl. We won't go. Okay, whatever. I'm whatever age I want me to be.
I'm not going there. Hey, that's just a number. It doesn't matter,
Yep,
right?
just a number. What, Rich Runner? Your first online life? I think that's funny. That's cool. Three-year anniversary. Aw. There could be something to that, meeting people online and it becoming something. You never know.
But it's kind of like you get a chance to talk to somebody, meet like kind of get a sense of what they're about and stuff. So I could see the benefits of that before it gets, physical. It seems like in our society, you know, things kind of start the opposite, right? It starts physical and then we'll see what happens from there. But this way, you get to talk to people, feel them out,
Hey,
see what they're
David.
about.
Yes. And but that's the way it should be. And then if you become really good friends, then it can turn into more. I think. I don't know.
I agree
Look at
with
the
that.
look at the people with arranged marriages and mail order brides, and they didn't know anybody. They were
Well,
just kind of thrown
person.
into it. Here you are. Good luck.
I don't know. I feel like arranged marriages and mail order brides are kind of two different things. But hey, you're right. If you want it to work, you make it work.
Right. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. Thank you. Has a boyfriend online? Yep.
I mean, as long as they're not asking for money or something weird, you know.
Yeah. They'd be in the wrong place for that. And y'all, oh, I lost his name. Y'all meet Robbie Stingle. He is a musician and he has a channel. Check him out. Y'all know how I go to the music channels, and I think it was last night or today. I don't know when it was. My days are all mixed up, running together. Kind of stayed up a little later than I should, a few nights, and having fun.
My sleep pattern's been all messed up too, and I'm not sure why. Been trying hard to get back on it, but I don't know. They say the sun's been doing a bunch of crazy stuff, and I kind of believe that it affects me more than I realize, as far as like being able to sleep and just I feel like there's sinus pressure or something building up in my head. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, Cindy, how are you doing? You know what, Garrett? That's funny that you mentioned that. My son, and this was years ago, like it wasn't through YouTube or anything. I don't even know how he found this girl that said she was a girl. And he started talking to her online, and she was in, where was she? The UK, I think she said, for nursing school or something. And then, so he'd be in there talking to her, and he got the headset where they could hear each other's voices. And so, of course, me being the mom, even though he was grown, I don't care. I went in there and started snooping, listening. And I said, I'm not so sure about this person. And he was even, him and his best friend were planning a trip to Italy because his friend's from Italy. And they were going to meet up with this person and everything. And um, then this person sent pictures that and said, "This is me." And I know what Sophia Loren looks like pretty well. I mean, I've watched enough. Those pictures were of Sophia Loren. And I said,
Uh,
you need to cut this, because this is not on the up and up.
so your son had Sophia Loren on the line, and you made him cut her loose, is what I hear.
No, it wasn't Sophia Loren. And so instead of going to Italy, they went on a cruise to Cozumel, Belize. Belize. I guess it's all in one. Belize, Cozumel. I don't know, but He still got to go have fun.
Not so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdos out there, that's for sure. You got to be
Yes,
careful. I'm
you
one of
have to
them,
be,
but I'm not that dangerous.
yes, you have to be very careful. Hey, Indy, thank you so much. The link is pinned at the top. Anybody wants to come up? Just saying. Oh, that's sweet, Robbie. Oh, enjoy your vacation, Indy. I need a vacation. I want to go to the coast.
Which
Always want to go to the coast.
east or west?
South, Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf.
Yeah, because it's only like 3.5 hours from me. Thank you, Carolina. It's good to see you, hon. You're tired of vacation. You took a good one, David.
Yeah, sometimes vacations are tiring.
Sure, Roman. If you want to do that, that'd be great.
Okay. It's like sometimes you need a vacation after your vacation.
Yes.
Oh,
And
that link I just put in is Robbie's link to his YouTube channel. I didn't put his name in there, but that's what that is. If yeah, I'd like to go there and
check it out. Yep. Thank you.
getting used to this Blue Wrench business, Bonnie. I haven't been involved in that in a long time. I've lost all my wrenches. I got no tools but here.
Oh,
No, I don't think it's like purposefully or maliciously. I just think like I think YouTube does a purge every now and then or something. It's kind of weird, but
yeah.
I've never really used them before in the past anyway.
Yeah, Vicky, my father lives on the other side of Pensacola, east of Pensacola. I'm not real sure where it is. I know he goes to Panama City Beach. Panama City. Is I had a thing sent to me from Panama City. I've never been to Florida. I have this weird thing about the Texas border. It's like don't cross that state line. Robbie said thank you.
Hey, no problem. I always kind of forget how big Texas actually is, though. It's
Yes.
like it's just so big of a state.
Um what was I just reading? Like El Paso is closer to California than it is to, was it Austin or Houston or Dallas? I don't know. It it's far. Like for me to get anywhere, okay, the Gulf is 3.5 hours, but like to get to Chuck's, he's on the Louisiana line, or even Rescue, it's 5.5 to 6 hours. For me to get from here to El Paso is like 10 hours. So
Jeez Louise.
yeah,
I could
it's
probably
crazy.
drive across Ohio like 3 times in 10 hours.
Yes, like if you were on the East Coast, you could just almost be here in 10 hours. And I saw something where they were even talking about dividing Texas up into 5 states, and I was like, no, I don't agree with that. No, we're Texas.
They need to stop drawing these lines. Like whoever gave them the
Yeah,
magic marker, the Sharpie or whatever to draw these lines, that needs to be taken away.
yes, just take it away and no. Oklahoma. Cool deal. OU. So then you're really familiar with UT. That's a big rival game always. Offers Kingdom.
Red River.
Thank you for coming. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Yes, I heard the same rumor about California too. What? It's so good to see you. Link is pinned at the top if anybody wants to come up. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what they would name it. It wouldn't bother me if they closed off to the border, that area, the whole border towns. Build our own wall inside here. I was reading today that there's a whole bunch of they're called the Patriot something that have gone to the Texas border and are helping keep people out. Kind of surprised me. Of course,
I
we
mean,
know
it
how that goes.
kind of seems like a little late, if you ask me. I mean, but better late than never, I
Hmm.
guess.
Well, David, just find a way to enjoy it.
Nothing matters anymore. I believe we're all screwed in the end. Ah! Here's to looking up.
Garrett, don't rub it in. Rockstar, good to see you, and thank you so much for the birthday wishes. It's been a while since I've seen you, John. Did you move? I should get your email. He's in Texas. He knows how far it is to go anywhere. Barbecue Rockstar. My oldest daughter's in here with me too, so she may join in.
Fireman.
Move his gimbal. Okay, did you move south? Did you move to the coast? I know that you had mentioned that. Or did you move west? Which direction did you go?
$650 a month to support a habit of 1 or 2 packs a day in regards to cigarettes. Cindy is saying
I see that. And
that's rent.
wait,
You know,
quit at age 10. Cindy, what?
when did you when did you start?
Okay, Rockstar, I understand. Um, yeah, it depends on the brand. The brand of cigarettes that I like is um, oh, $10 to $12 a pack.
Oh my, that's expensive. Out
Yeah,
here, I've seen packs of cigarettes from about $6. And I think the most are like the American Spirits. Those come up to like $10,
yeah,
but I
and
hardly buy them. But I know those are the more expensive ones.
yep. And so these nasty Marlboros that I'm smoking now, they're about $8 a pack. But my daughter's, she gets the special blend. I don't know
They changed it.
what's the difference.
Special select.
Oh, now it's special select, and they're six.
6.13 a pack.
Yeah, six, around 6 a pack. It's crazy.
I don't. I know when I used to travel like overseas and stuff, it'd be you'd always buy a couple cartons of cigarettes because they're always like super cheap overseas when you bring them over. And then I'm surprised none of these illegals are coming in with cartons of smokes. It's like currency. Bringing up cigarettes from Mexico or something. I guess
Yes.
they got a whole bureau about that anymore, don't they?
I love
ATF.
Jefferson Vineyard.
Hey. Hi.
How are you
today?
I'm good.
Hey, Virginia.
Hey, Ronan. I don't know that we've ever met like on a panel. We've been chatting for years, but I'm not sure if we've ever been on one.
Yeah, we have. I know, like back in the Ron days, but
Yeah, okay. You're right. Yep. No, I came to say happy birthday, Bonnie. Like, is it your 27th, 28th?
Sure. Thank you so much.
I'm
Yeah.
just hearing over here.
Yeah, it's a combo. Cigarettes here about the same. Like right as I was coming in, I had to mute the other side, but I heard someone say like $12 a pack or something. That's about what's going on in Washington. It is insane. So expensive.
Because they know we're hooked, and so we'll get them this way.
Yeah, and you know what? It's mostly the taxes on the tobacco itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you break it down, and it's kind of sick. I started rolling my own a couple of years ago. It still cost me more than other places. Like, okay, so I get this. I'll show you here. I get this. So I get this, and this is 1 pound, right? In my state, this cost me like $26, but in other states it might be like
Whoa.
12 to 15. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you go to smokersoutlet.com, I think is what it is.
Girl, I did that before, and they won't ship to this state.
What?
Yeah, because I live in a commie state here, and so if you go to order from some of those, I've been referred to several like tobacco sites, right? Every single one you get to the shipping, they're like, yep, nope, we don't ship to your state. And then there's like 7 or 8, maybe a handful more of states that you cannot ship tobacco to because the tax laws are so what they are.
I can't believe that.
I know, right?
Man.
It almost makes it worth it to take a road trip.
Yes.
And like, in Minecraft, take a road trip in Minecraft and then sell it on your journey,
Yeah.
New cartons and ship them to you.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I know truck drivers in like other countries that do that. They'll, if they're traveling around, they'll buy a bunch of cartons of smokes, go back and sell them. A little side hustle.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. In Minecraft.
Right. In the video game, like if you're playing a video game, you could do that. You could buy some and then sell it for profit in another part of the video game.
I didn't know that was a thing on there.
How cool. Like Minecraft.
Right.
Plausible deniability.
Exactly.
It's an assumption. We're assuming that could happen.
Well, this is just a entertainment broadcast anyway. It's all comedy and
satire,
skits. Yep, satire.
Yep.
Hate to piss off the ATF. They
Right.
take all your fun away right there.
That's one of them. I heard that they are really pushing to dismantle. Um,
Yeah, I
can't,
don't see a purpose for them. First of all, we have the Second Amendment, so
yeah,
and then as far as alcohol and tobacco is concerned, what happened to that my body, my choice business, right? Like,
yep.
I don't know.
That's why they're so against marijuana because they can't tax it. They can't figure out how to tax that yet.
Oh, but they do.
Yeah.
Cindy, yeah, you're basically right. Like a
Well, I guess that's
a
true.
lot, and we have full recreational, right? And you go into the
Yes,
stores. Well, let's say, um, just to put it succinctly, you're being taxed about 30%, and those places are responsible to collect those taxes. Now, when they passed it to the voters, right, there were a few things that they pushed through at the same time. We used to have like ABC stores, like liquor stores that were independently owned, like you could go and own a liquor shop, right? Well, it
yes,
like lobbied hard through Costco and Walmart and places like that in Minecraft for entertainment purposes. They made it a big deal to have retailers be able to sell alcohol. About the same time, they pushed through the recreational situation. Now,
yeah,
the way they sold it to the population is that that would go to the Department of Education and to some of the infrastructure. And to my knowledge, with the recreational stores, none of that money has gone to the department, like funding any part of education or infrastructure. Like it's just sitting in a wallowing account somewhere being corrupted.
Sunshine Archer and Sean, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Hey, Sean.
And that's really the problem is when they put this money in accounts and let it sit there, they accumulate the interest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they make their money. And then at some point, someone says something about it and they're like, oh, yeah, here it is. We're going to sit in this bank account collecting interest for us this whole time.
Yep. Kiss
Yeah.
off. Thank you so much. Good to see you, hon. And so Cindy was asking, doesn't Washington have a special sun tax? Like 20% plus additional 10% sales tax on top of
Yeah,
the base.
it's a sin tax. I think it's a typo. It should be sin,
Yes.
SIN. And yes, that's correct. So when we had liquor stores or ABC stores, let's say you go buy a $10 bottle of bourbon, it would be $10 plus sales tax, which is about 9%. So it'd be like $11, right? Well, now if you go to Costco and Walmart and the grocery store and all the places that lobbied for this to be passed, a $10 bottle literally will cost you $15. By the time all the taxes go through on your receipt, it is roughly 50%.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have liquor stores, drive-through liquor stores. And that's what surprised me whenever some people said that. Well, somebody even asked me, what's a liquor store? Well, they sell liquor,
Right.
just
Right.
the hard liquor.
Yep.
And they're everywhere. And it's not that expensive for that. And so that's what is kind of surprising about the way Texas acts about cannabis, because I don't see why it's such a big deal here. I mean, if you get caught with it on you over, is it an ounce or is it less than that? I don't. It's not very much. And even if you just have the paraphernalia, you're going in.
Mm-hmm.
They're so strict about that. So if you're coming through Texas, just hide it really good.
In Minecraft.
Right.
There you go.
Through the imaginary land. My opinion, honestly, people, I do not think it's a good idea to vote in cannabis recreationally, because of the examples I gave in my state with the cannabis gets controlled by the Liquor Control Board, believe it or not. Like it doesn't have its own agency or whatever. It goes under the ABC or the liquor board, right?
Right.
So and because of the way it's taxed, etc., I actually do not recommend it for states that don't have it. There are a lot of pitfalls once it comes through, and it's not so much that you have to pay a little bit extra here and there. It's that the corruption is so deep that what they're selling it on never happens. And
Good
uh,
night, Simone. I hope
you
you
know what
feel
I
better.
mean? It's sold on lies, and it compromises a lot. And there are a lot of places that are outsourcing. For example, you take a pure product and you send it to China, and China sends you back a edible, right? But you don't know what's in that. You don't know if it's
Right.
packaged nice and it has a fancy wrapper, because you now have made this an automated commercial industry. That's not really a good thing. You know what I mean? Like there's plus and minus to it.
Yeah.
I would just say really think about it. I think that medical, 100%, I'm all for it.
Yes.
Recreational is a way to extort the public.
Yeah. Well, any regulation over it, in my opinion, is just. I think it's unlawful. I don't understand it. I mean, I have a hard time thinking what other I can plant. I mean, I can make aspirin out of a willow tree, right? Like these things have
Correct.
all come from nature.
Yep.
And if this is a seed I plant in the ground and it grows and I take from that plant, that the government has nothing to do with that as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they obviously have a different opinion. I don't challenge them on that because, you know, whatever. But let's say in Minecraft, right? You do that. What other medication can you put a seed in the ground and it grows and we take of it, right? And it helps us. I was actually looking up a bunch of stuff on this mullein plant, right? A weed that grows all over the place. You
Right.
can make salves out of it. You can make teas out of it. You can do a lot for it, for your body out of this weed, essentially. So it's just curious to me how much of that stuff has been forgotten, right?
Right.
I think cannabis is kind of stuck around because it does have that psychoactive effect and people do feel good, right? And that was the reason they were able to, put the fear in everybody. That's how they rule, right? They put the fear and they put that movie out, what was it, Reefer Madness or something like that,
Oh yeah, in the 20s.
right? They scare everybody, right? And then they come in and make other laws for safety's sake, right? This is for your safety and for
Yeah,
your,
public safety.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
But then they're like, well,
And Roundup is designed to kill almost every weed in your yard. Do your own research. I'm talking about Minecraft here. Has therapeutic benefits for your character in Minecraft. Things from dandelions to milkweed to, you know what I'm saying, different plants that grow that we've all been taught, no, kill them off, kill those off. You don't want anything to do with that,
Yes.
right?
yep.
Those for your character in Minecraft could boost give you a boost, you know what I'm saying? Like a huge source of vitamin C is in rose hips. People look at oranges and citrus or whatever. Those little red balls that are left over after a rose drops its petals are chock full of vitamin C.
Oh,
There are
wow.
so many things that are just that we're told to throw away or chemically kill, and quite a few of them are pretty beneficial. Not everything, but you get my point.
Yeah. Well, and that's what um, Hawk was saying, even on is it the NIH? I'm probably getting it all wrong. Website, and they're saying how cures things,
Mhm. Yep.
and he's kind of proven it.
Lot of evidence, anecdotally, in my fact, for sure.
Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, how many of the medications that they give people are actually just placebos, and it's a mind game? Like, I just have, over these recent last couple of years, I realized how much our mind controls actually our physical body. Like, we can think things that make ourselves ill, or we can think things that make ourselves better, right?
Right.
So it's like, how many of
You're
these drugs that they're giving everybody, maybe they're placebos, or just actually have an adverse effect, because they all give you a list of weird side effects. They're
Mhm.
almost worse than the actual thing you're taking the medication for.
Right.
But then you take cannabis and you kind of get your mind right or whatever. You kind of see through some of that BS. I think that's what they were mostly scared of, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't have any factual basis behind that, but that's just my sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep. Opinion. Fair. Right. Yeah, we're getting hornswoggled in a lot of ways. Um,
Sean's,
Big,
Sean's in.
Big Pharma is the top in the top three of money makers, and that's not cool. You know.
Yeah. It must be pretty hot in California too. Sean was saying he's got a headache from overheating or not hydrating. Something. This heat is crazy. If y'all having to work outside, I feel for you. I was watching our garbage men come by today, and those poor guys, they still ride on the back of the truck.
I get looks because I'm wearing a jacket at work.
Well, when you got to go in the cooler,
No,
the vents right on you.
yeah, the blood is right on me. That building could fall down and the AC's still gonna run like a rock star.
I
Yeah.
agree with. Oh, sorry.
Probably has severe arthritis. I hear
Yeah,
you.
I,
The happen.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could see that too. And I mean, it's like insulin to diabetic. There's no, that's just it,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
They need that.
Yeah. Seizures.
To your point earlier, Ronan, you can think yourself sick, and you can think yourself well to a degree. Now, you know, obviously, get medical attention as needed, but you really can. There's that connection there. The mind body spirit connection is a real thing, and you can also be made sick by the stress of the people around you. Like it's not even you, you're doing pretty good or whatever, you're stable, but the people around you can actually make you ill. There's some interesting videos on the tubes about several syndromes, like whether it's hypertension or POTS, which is actually where you get really lightheaded when you stand up, your heart it goes too fast, your blood pressure gets all out of whack. Insomnia, IBS, stuff with your bowels, all that kind of stuff. There might be nothing wrong with your physical body. It could be an energy around you in your life.
That's true too.
And I really do believe that too, Virginia. And it's like, shoot, It really makes you think twice about who you hang around. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, you get a person that's all down and depressed all the time, and it does. It starts rubbing off. Starts making you feel like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that your name or something like a succubus? Isn't that what that's called? Not you, Bonnie. I think I don't know where I saw it. It was like not a succubus or something like that. But that's
No.
what that is a succubus, right? They're
Yes, you're right. It is a succubus, energy
that,
vampire, like Carl said. Yep.
yep. Yeah. And that's tough because like is that a
Yes, it is.
person or is that a phase someone goes through? You know? It's like sometimes my friends get bummed out or they're down or whatever, and I can feel that energy drain, and I'm trying to build them up and lift them up. And it's like at some point I have to decide, well, am I building you up or are you bringing me down? Right?
Uh-huh. Right. Hmm.
Yes. Did y'all see that? That I called him a. I don't know what I called him earlier, but that person up there is now trying to change dishwashers and vending machines, soda fountain things, and there was one other thing I can't remember what it was besides the gas stoves, and it's just crazy over and over and over.
Huh. Like changing the definition of it or the impact of it.
And trying to make it more energy efficient, and
Okay.
the climate change thing,
Yeah.
and so um, that there's a big battle about it because the manufacturers are saying they already have them so energy efficient that it would not convenience the consumer, period, if they even try to do it more, because as it is now, it takes like an hour or two
It takes
to
like
run.
4 hours to wash dishes in a dishwasher.
Yeah, and of course I don't use mine. It just sits there. I'd
Hmm.
rather just wash them by hand, but I know
It's
a lot of people do. But
dishwasher too, but I wash mine by hand. I have not run it. I've been in this house for like 15 years. I think I've run it once for just, I don't even know why. But um, yeah,
yes,
I prefer to wash by hand. I don't use it. It is sitting there as storage for plates.
yep.
it's, a,
Mhm.
it's like a really cool drying rack.
Pretty much like it's clean
Yes.
plates I don't have room for in the cupboard. I just like line them up in there. It's fine.
Hey, NC Deb, this is good to see you.
Well, isn't that like I remember Trump doing a speech at the Whirlpool factory, something about that. He was making jokes about like people run these dishwashers and they ended up running them twice. You end up, wasting more water and all this stuff just to get a good wash out of them.
And if anyone is like my mom, like she thoroughly and completely washes them before they even get in the dishwasher. Like,
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like they're totally clean by the time she even puts them
and
in there.
what's the use?
Girl, like
Yeah,
it
and
drives me nuts.
That's funny.
yeah, and mine never did dry the dishes, so I'd have to dry them as I pulled them out, and I was like, "This is ridiculous," and
Mhm.
because I used it like I think I used it for Thanksgiving and Christmas the first year I was here, and after that I was like, "No more." And but I think that the people that it's going to affect most possibly could be the restaurants
Yes, yes. Hmm.
where they have the
Industrial stuff.
Yep.
yes, the whole sterilizing system thing. Maybe
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
know.
those dishwashers are amazing. I worked
Really
in
good
restaurants
to see
for
you. Thank
almost
you.
2 decades, right? And I'll tell you the most important person in a restaurant, whether it's fine dining or Chick-fil-A, well, not Chick-fil-A, but whether it's fine dining or Applebee's, is the dishwasher. If
Yep.
you do not have a dishwasher, the entire operation screeches to a halt because the chef needs their supplies and pans and pots, and the sauciers need their business also. You know what I mean? Like, people never think about it, but that position, and it's usually, in my experience, an elderly drunk person. And I'm not dogging anybody. I'm just saying. And in my experience in restaurants, you know, you'd have a dishwasher standing there, hot, sweaty, in
Yeah.
their outfit, and they'd have a bottle right around the corner of the Eco Lab, you know, with the handle that comes down and sprays everything really good. They were
Yeah.
always posted, but they were the number one important person for the operation.
Yeah. That's true. Because you can't serve the customers if you don't have the dishes.
That's right. Yep.
I remember commercials growing up on TV, like dishwashers. They're showing people like putting plates in with like chicken bones and stuff in the dishwasher. You know what I mean? Like they were just throwing it all in there. Like half their food was on the plate still.
Yeah.
They're just throwing
Yeah.
that shit in the
The
dishwasher.
casserole dish full of stuff in the corners, and yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, and they're like they had the uh, garbage disposals type thing in there to grind up the bones and send everything down the line. And
No way. In the
yeah,
dishwasher?
Cindy
yeah.
D, thank you so much. Good to see you, hon.
Hey, Cindy. And Remote, I saw came in. Hey, Remote.
Yes,
Hey,
remote.
remote.
I cannot remember ever seeing a dishwasher that would chomp up bones. There was always like that little cage at the bottom that you had to get the big stuff out of. You know?
Yep. Yeah, my daughter, she did that for quite a while. But she loved it. She could turn on her music and
Mm-hmm.
stick it in her ears and just jam out and
Absolutely.
wear shorts.
It's a pretty good gig, to be honest. You don't have to deal with the customers. You don't have to deal with a lot of interaction. You
Yeah.
just have to get your glass, and it's really cool. The racks that like the water glasses go in, you know, that you put them in upside down, and you get your system, and you know that you're important to that operation. You get in there with your music. It's a good time. It really is. Hey,
Yeah.
remote viewer. Wait a second.
Happy birthday to
Oh,
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bonnie. Happy birthday to you and many, many more.
Thank you so much, remote. That was
You're
sweet.
welcome. I thought I had to come sing you happy birthday.
I love it. Thank
hey,
you.
Great to see you all. I don't get out much these days.
Lady.
I saw you and it was your birthday. I had to come sing you happy birthday. I love you all. Have a great night.
I appreciate it.
Good seeing
God
you.
bless you, remote.
Good seeing
for
you all.
sure.
That was sweet.
I almost didn't recognize the guy.
For sure. Yeah, got a
I think he
haircut.
looks younger. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was surprised when I first saw him when he did that. I was like, remote.
Right?
No. But I think that the Canada is getting this heat too. And I can understand it because my hair is so long. And so I have clips and ponytails everywhere in the car and everywhere. Just keep it pulled up because it's so hot.
Oh yeah, it's been really hot down there. I've seen.
If we don't get some rain, we're in trouble. We've got water conservation going on, and
Hmm. So do they meter you out? Like, do they ever shut your water off, or right now you're just told to not overuse it?
yes, we're just told not to over. Well, they're telling us we don't have to. The next county over is stage 4, and
Mm.
so I don't know why they think that our water's okay because the next county over that's on stage 4 is where we get our runoff, and so if they're in that much trouble, I know we are too, but our mayor won't admit it.
Hmm.
Hey, Victor, good to see you.
Victor?
I know Northeast Texas is getting all the rain.
We got some here today. It's been really weird weather though. If it's not cloudy and weird, we're getting these air quality advisors. I don't remember. Maybe I think last year we got a couple too, but this year it's like every couple days they're saying something about the air quality is poor. I'm sure it has to do with the fire and stuff from Canada, but
Yes, that's NC Deb. She sent me a picture of the sun, and the sun was like looking funny, but you could just see the smoke, smog, cloud, whatever, just
Mhm.
solid. And I was like, well, at least we don't have that. Thank goodness. Knock on wood. Thank you, Lord. And that's what I keep saying. I shouldn't complain.
Do you
The
think
heat,
it's worse lately with the heat, or is this normal, or is this
you
extra?
know, and that's what my daughter and I was talking about today. I can remember posting on Facebook a few years ago. I think it's when we had those big fires. Um, and I can remember posting a day number 180 something of 100 plus degrees.
Ooh.
dang.
Yeah. So it does happen. It's usually July and August. That it started so much earlier this year was kind of concerning, but and that's the same with our winters. We never know what it's going to do. There's sometimes we don't even have a winter. It may freeze 3 days the whole winter, or it could start early and we have ice and freezing for a month or two.
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems like it went from, I don't know, we had kind of like a full spring. It was nice for a while in April, and then it got cold again. Everything froze. It killed a bunch of stuff in my garden. But then I was able to replant a bunch of stuff, but it's like they're stunted. My tomato plants aren't growing as tall as they did last year, and
Yeah.
it's just really weird. I have some tomato plants that are probably like they are volunteers, but they only grew like 2 feet tall, and they're already growing some tomatoes on them. So it's just odd.
Cool.
I don't know. Yeah, they're.
As long as they're producing, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, mine are putting out one, just one. So I'm just trying to save the seeds out of them. Just using them for seeds, whatever I'm getting off of them. Hi,
Right.
Hawk. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? What are you guys doing up so late?
Shit.
Celebrating. We're celebrating our good friend Bonnie here.
They
Oh,
say it's your birthday.
birthday again?
She's
I
keeping up.
know.
How many birthdays do you have a year exactly?
A year, one, and I tried to skip it, but nobody would let me.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with getting a little bit older. Just as long as it's every couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Can't sleep. So I got up and made some hot cocoa.
Mm.
Oh,
Hot cocoa,
welcome.
dude. It's so hot. How would you make hot cocoa?
Because by drinking hot cocoa, it cools the body down.
I
Okay.
have heard that the
Yeah.
ranchers and farmers around here, they'll drink coffee with their breakfast, coffee with their lunch.
Yeah.
Yep. Hot coffee or hot cocoa.
Hmm.
Uh, when you want to decrease your body temperature 15 to 20 degrees, drink a cup.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
That's interesting. I
Yeah.
actually know a lot of people that can drink like a pot of really hot coffee in the summer and go straight to sleep.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have no problem with that. I could actually, yeah. I whether it be coffee or cocoa, it doesn't matter what. I yeah. Um, yeah. Um, all for his kingdom. Yeah. It's I uh, I I pulled out a section of my freezer for him. It'll hold over until the dog gets here tomorrow. So
Oh,
yeah, I I pulled out a whole thing of turkey. One of those big turkey breast loaves or whatever they call them things,
yeah.
and I baked it and I chopped it up into little itty bitty pieces. And everybody got some, and everybody's sleeping except for me.
That's
Uh,
usually the way it goes. Well, welcome to the Insomniac Club.
yeah. The last couple of nights uh, I've been trying to go to bed early, but usually like right between now and midnight, I'm like right back up, and I'm up for an hour or so, and I'm like, no, I'll just do the cocoa tonight and see if it'll put me back to sleep. So
Good. I'm glad you came up.
yeah, I didn't feel like typing, so I figured I'd jump up. Yeah, I do because I got to find my glasses, and because my keyboard's so damn dirty, I can't see the letters on them. So, so I have to put glasses on in order to see them, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'll shut the computer down in the morning and take and run some cloth over or whatever the hell I got for it. I got some cleaner stuff for it, but it's a we've had this really weird gust of wind coming up the valley, and
Mhm.
and the hotter it gets, the more dirt and sand gets tossed up in the air, and I just had a layer of it everywhere. My desk, everything today, just had a layer of it. I'm like, what the heck? It's been a couple of years since I mean, last year we had a couple of days where it was 115 or higher. You know, we were up in the 120s for a few days last year,
Yep.
and it wasn't this bad. You know, with the dirt getting up. You know, um, and all the farms around me, nobody's growing anything. Nobody's growing it. It's like
Uh,
another year of getting paid to grow nothing. Now the grass seed farmer, he did grow, but he's already harvested twice this year already, so he's all done. So he's out there kicking up dirt, and that dust just rolls right across this whole
yep.
section of mine. I'm just like
Right.
I'm done with this all. Done with it.
So it sounds like it's kind of nationwide with the crops.
Well, yeah, they're offering up to 3,600 an acre to destroy your crops, or you'll end up paying that much in order to get it into the market.
What the?
That's
Oh,
what they're trying to do. So, yeah, buy local.
mm-hmm.
You know, if you got anybody who's growing local, that is, yeah. I can't wait to get out of this state because I don't see Oregon ever recovering. You know, and it's you know we
Sad.
talked about that dream that I had. You know,
Yes.
I told you that I had a second dream with with the city name came to me in another dream, and
Really.
then oh Lord, and then I had one like early early this afternoon when I took a nap, um, and I talk about how the sky opened up and a bright light came out and I heard the words to behold the Lion of Judah. Only this time I was watching the demons falling out of the sky. They weren't flying down. They were
So
falling. Like birds falling out of the sky.
Hmm.
Just going splat right down to the ground. And then I woke up. I'm like,
that's cool.
yeah,
Kind of birds.
it's like something weird or something bad's going to happen in Portland. I just between the three dreams over the last couple of years, and all of them intertwined. I don't I don't see Portland getting out of this without major problems.
Yeah.
You know, um, it, Salem not so much. Salem is a recoverable city. Eugene, I'm not sure. I've never really spent any time down there, and I don't really pay much attention to the news that goes on down there. But I know Portland. Uh, yeah, actually, I see it as Portland and Vancouver both. I see something really bad happening.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't shake it. No matter how much I try to shake it, I can't. You know.
Goodness. Well, we
Yeah.
hope.
And then I had a dream about Hartford, Connecticut. Now I got family that live out there. I lived out there for a few years as a youngster, in that general area. Um, I've been having dreams about Hartford over these last couple of weeks. Like something really big is going to happen in Hartford soon, and it's I'm not saying like like uh,
A
some
bad
kind
thing.
of tragedy or something like that. I
Right.
just see something happening that is going to be a uh, uh, something's going to happen in Hartford that is going to be an eye opener, pretty much for that whole state. Um, and it's going to be big, um, but it's not going to be like some big tragedy or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Uh, and then another one was Portsmouth, New Hampshire, uh, across
Hmm.
from Kittery, Maine. That was another place that I dreamed about, and I kept seeing the port. Something was going on at the port in the dream, um, and but it's funny. The ones with water involving water they're always short, they're precise, and they end very quickly. It's like it's almost like I'm getting a glimpse at it, and then poof, it's gone. Um, Again, I got friends that are out there. I got friends that have been stationed out there for years, and but I don't know if it's going to be on the Maine side or if it's going to be on the New Hampshire side. But there, that Portsmouth, um, something with the bridge,
Hmm.
you know, and it was the bridge that the dream focused on me. Was the bridge? It was like I was flying over the boats, all the ships that were there in port,
Uh-huh.
and then I just like you know how you tread water or a hawk will elevate itself and just kind of stay stationary in the sky. or
Yeah.
actually more like a seagull. How a seagull, goes up and just goes up, raise and
Just
lower
glide.
just a little bit, but it'll just like be almost staying in place. It
Yeah.
was like I was that bird, and then I just then and the it was like I was the bird and I was looking at the bridge, and 1 second it was there, and then the next second it wasn't, and then the next second I was awake.
Um, hmm.
Was it black and white dream or was it in color?
Um, I would say it was gray matter. I don't know that I ever dream in black and white. Um, at least not that I ever remember. Um,
But I mean, kind of like what you said, like that gray. Usually, like in my dreams, for example, a color will stand out. If there is.
yeah.
If it's. So I guess I don't know.
Um,
Oh, we
actually,
don't even want to talk about Taylor Swift. I could tell you a dream I had about her a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't pretty.
mm, um,
Yeah, it was. Do you remember the movie Carrie?
yes.
Okay, that was Taylor Swift.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, and that was like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that, right around there. That was a weird one. So
Yep. Well, I had. It wasn't a dream. It was just like how you just kind of get a message, but it's like this is totally insane, so it can't be true. And then I'm sitting on the deck, and I'm like, well, I don't think it should be me. And this oak leaf, a dead oak leaf, just smacks me in the middle of the forehead. Like usually they'll just fall. No, right in the middle of the forehead, and I'm like, okay, so this is what is. And I know it sounds crazy, but what if this is the new Jerusalem? What if these people that are coming in are coming for a reason
The
that
Lost Tribe.
none of us know of?
the remnants.
Something like that.
It's kind of spooky that you mentioned that dream, Bonnie, because I had a dream about it. It's weird. I don't know why I had it, but this cop picked up a yellow oak leaf and showed it to me. He's like, "Yep, here it is." And then I woke up. I don't understand like what necessarily it was about,
Two
but I do
towers.
remember it was like a leaf from it was an oak leaf, and it was
Oh
yellow.
wow.
He's like,
Okay.
"Yep, here it is." And then I woke up.
I don't feel so crazy now. Y'all are like making it sound like possibility. So maybe we should be more receptive and helping of the people coming in. And we're going to have to vet them, of course, ourselves because they're not being vetted.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I would like to hear from them myself, not from the media
Yes.
explaining them to me or some other asshole telling me what they're about.
Yes.
I want to talk to them personally.
Yes. Because if it was a family, because that's what I was thinking. Okay, if we ever in this lifetime get out to my mother's to take care of them, um, that's a whole nother story. But it's 5 acres. If there was a family and they were actually wanting a place to work or whatever, and okay, do you have the skills to build you a cabin or something? Would totally allow that if they're going to be there to help. That's how you build a community in the first place, right? And usually, if it's a man and a woman and their children, which I don't know how they would prove that, but I would have to know that. I'm open for something like that. If they know how to farm, they're going to help farm and do the stuff just like we all are. No, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they came here to live and to have a life and to have a family and stuff, that's different than coming here with having hate and malice in your heart, looking to cause loss, injury, and harm and to your fellow
Yes.
neighbor. That's a whole different thing.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot to dreams that are representative of an overall theme and not to be taken literal. So sometimes you have to look at like what was my emotion during that experience in that dream, or did I have joy, fear, curiosity? All of those. That's where some of the messages come from your conscious. Um,
Yeah.
Excuse
Well,
me.
the
You,
thing,
Robin. You
thing
said
is like the one with Taylor Swift was. I had just got done watching a scene in regards to the slaughter of the innocents, when all the male children in Bethlehem had been slaughtered by Herod, and then it went to her being on stage, and she's just standing there, and then she screams, and then blood just pours down on her, like from the movie Carrie when they tipped the bucket over on her.
yeah,
It's just like the blood just kept seemed to keep coming down and coming down. It wasn't like a bucket full. It was like somebody had a turd truck up a septic truck up above and was pumping it on her. You know what I mean? Um,
a honey pot.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was no bigger. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It was just weird.
hello, Dagmar. Absolutely. I'll add you to my list. I had a whole bunch of people that were requesting prayers earlier.
right.
Yeah. Getting old and losing my mind.
Dagmar.
We're all right there with you, huh? You're not alone.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it more than you ever know. Oh. But now that I ruined everybody's night, I'm gonna go to bed.
When anyone's like, sure.
No, it's good to see you, Hawk.
I gotta be up early in the morning. So, all right, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna see
Thank you,
if Coco will
too.
knock me out. And you guys take care.
Have a good night.
Soon. All right, good night.
You too, Hawk. Adding you to my list, too.
Oh, sorry.
I just saw something. Cindy, I agree with that. I mean, I know that there are a lot of bad actors. We have a lot of bad people right here already. And so that would be the hard part, is figuring out who's what. Um, I should be thinking of the homeless people first. I know this, but with them doing the drugs that they're doing, that it is my holdback on that.
I know a handful of homeless folks that
Thank you, Robert.
pretty
Yes.
much chose that. They don't
Yes.
want to, they're
For
content with
whatever
that.
reason, they're
Yeah.
happy with, yes.
Exactly.
So I was talking to my aunt, and her and her husband, they were missionaries for years, going into the third world countries and spreading the word of God and talking and teaching them about Jesus. And so I was talking to her yesterday, and Ronan, what did you just say? My goodness, I gotta quit reading chat while I'm talking.
I would just mention that I know a handful of homeless folks that just choose that. They
Yes.
have
Okay.
opportunities out of it, but they're content with where they are.
Yes, and that's where I got it. And so she said, so we know how much money the government is spending on this. So wouldn't it make more sense if they use that money to make tents and to make up a little go bag with, like cooking utensils and whatever? And wherever they pitch their tent, it's got to be where they can build a fire. That's one problem we have here is you can't, no fires whatsoever. Um, and I was like, that would be a really good idea if, you know, get the tent makers, whoever the factory is that makes tents, because they're basically living in a tent or a box anyway, and seem to be making it. And we all know that you can make a tent warm. Here in Seattle.
They have made it comfortable. I can say that along the I-5 corridor in the last couple of years, I've seen it improve. Um, a few years ago, all the underpasses were chock full of homeless,
Yeah.
tents, garbage, all of it, going
Yeah.
downtown, which I avoid. I mean, dude, I only go through Seattle if I'm headed to the airport, But
Hmm.
it it's shocking how bad it got, how quick. Like people sleeping in storefronts that were shut because people were sleeping in the storefront. Um, and one of the things that Washington did was make everything legal. So in Minecraft, you could go get mushrooms or, in Minecraft, you could have a certain amount of anything under the sun, and it's not even
Yes.
blinked at. Same thing in Oregon is happening, where Hawk was talking about. Um, I have seen some improvement in Seattle as far as the expansion of this. I think they're kind of like whittling it down. The
Hmm.
Portland and Salem area is really, really bad. What's up, 103? Um,
Maybe that.
one of the most interesting cities to me is actually San Francisco. Right now, if you look at what's going on there, all the businesses are boarded up, they're shut, like
Hmm.
your chocolates and the places with sourdough bread. And I was just there about 6 years ago, and I walked all along the wharf. I went to Alcatraz. I went around and I got some legit sourdough. I stood in line at whatever place it was, something famous. I don't remember. There were
Hmm.
the chocolate shops and all of that. You go now, and they have all deserted the place within 5 years. I was there 6 years ago. Within 5 years, it is now completely boarded up. You have a few stragglers walking around getting to their job, but the base companies, the like Silicon Valley is migrating to Texas basically or other
Yeah.
places, but it's weird. It's a ghost town. Um,
Thank you, Dagmar. I appreciate that. I just saw an article because um, Austin was like that.
yeah,
Down the when you're coming in from the airport, you're on 71 that turns into Ben White, and on all the underpasses, and all the way up 35 too. They were just everywhere, and um, even overflowing in front of businesses and stuff. And um, so this article is saying that Texas could teach California something because it's working well in Austin, and what they have done, it's not quite like Dee's describing the what they've done north of her. I don't know if it's in Oregon or Washington or, but
Mhm.
um, so they've taken the old airport because they built the
Huh?
new airport. I don't know how many years ago. It's been quite a while, and
Mhm.
they're using the old airport for the homeless people, and the hotels that have closed up for whatever reason, they're using those for the homeless people, and they're also building communities for the homeless people with the tiny homes, but they have to work. They have to work the grounds of the community where the tiny homes are. They do gardens and they raise their own food and all of that. And then they also have to put in like at least 20 hours either volunteer or working to make money if they want money for anything. And it seems to be working pretty good. And they're, I mean, like you said, I mean, I know that some of them are happy with their situation and being homeless, but it's more that from what I've seen, the ones that I've met is they just want to be alone. They're like, for whatever reason, whether they think it's because they're worthless or their families deserted them and they just don't care anymore, whatever it is. And so if they're in those tiny homes and they're alone, then um, but at the same time, there's people, if they do want to interact with other people, I don't know. It just seems to be working somewhat there.
Right.
Well, do you think that the homeless population is kind of congregating in those states where those laws are a little bit more liberal and they're
Yeah.
not, so it seems like probably a lot of what the rest of the United States, um, I mean, it's just in the nature of it, it's the homeless folks are migrating towards those areas because of these laws and their ability to do all the stuff.
100%. We saw them by the busload go into Seattle, Portland. Um, those are the two I'm most familiar with. By the busload, people were getting on literally on Greyhounds with nothing, stopping that was their destination, and they just start life on the street
Yeah.
because there's so many amenities. Um, so I see a positive and a negative to what you're describing, Bonnie, because it's
Yeah.
almost like restructured projects, where sure we'll provide you, it's a step below maybe Section 8, which my family was on at one time. I'm not dogging Section 8, but I'm saying it's almost like a restructured project system, and it's furthering the divide between the poor and the not poor. For example, my sister and her husband moved from Seattle to Austin because they made so much, they made really good money, but the cost of living here justified them going to Austin. So you have not only those populations like Ronan described, because the laws are lax or whatever, that they might go by the busload to go and get their buzz and live in a tent, but you also have people from these blue cities rushing into red states, ironically, probably to ruin them, um, for a similar reason.
Yeah. And I know that it's a tough situation, but
Mhm.
from just where I'm at, and we're in a small community. We don't have any homeless people, but I can see where that would be very possible. just with looking around me, the rent, my daughter and her husband, their landlord just sold the apartments, and so they have to be out by the end of the month. And so we've been like going crazy trying to find a rent house really quick for them. They've got the new baby and everything, um, and I don't have the room. I'm packed,
Right.
and if if I had known this, I could have prepared more. But I just
Oh, but you can't take that on yourself. Like,
I know,
like
and
don't do that to yourself, girl.
I know, but so the rent is like 2,000 a month here. The house that I went with them to look at yesterday morning was 2,200 a month, and so who can afford that? I mean, really and truly, thankfully he owns a business. He's not rich, but they say that they can pull it off, and I'm hoping, and I'm going to help them with the child care also, so that they won't have to pay so much as much as they are right now for child care. But
Right.
um, it's just, and that's where families, man, we've got to get together and be there for the families in need, because our own families, everyone's struggling, everyone. And so I don't even think that there's a middle class at all. It's either the very rich or poor.
Yeah, I
It's,
agree.
I don't
There,
see a middle.
it's getting wider and wider. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it and to buy property around here, and so I thought with all this inflation everything would be going down, and it's not budging. And so property around here is 75,000 an acre.
Mhm.
That is ridiculous. And
Mhm.
is it because of all the Californians moving in? Because in California, of course, you can get a way better price than you could here. But then that's why everything has gone up so much.
Well, the prices of real estate keep going up and stuff because of foreign investors buying property, and
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
uh, it's kind of weird. I sold a house. A guy, I was in real estate. A guy hired me to sell his house. He was in the military, and the people that bought it offered like a lot of money over listing price. And all of a sudden, I started getting this weird paperwork from the
Okay.
government because this guy was in the military, and apparently, depending on where you are in that business, when you sell your property, they have to investigate who's buying it, right? Because they don't
Mhm.
want you to think like, if I'm in the military and someone comes in and is like, "Hey, I'll buy your junk house for $3 million." You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Right.
Mhm.
So they investigate that stuff. I started getting all this paperwork I've never seen before, and I asked him about it, and he said, "Yeah, it's because someone from overseas is buying their house." So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was
Mhm.
weirdest thing ever,
Mhm.
but that's what the reality is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
The foreign
would
investors
sell.
is a big thing because we're getting bought from the inside out.
Yes.
Bonnie, to interrupt, but yeah, that's my thought. We're getting bought from the inside out.
Yeah, and this is one of the only countries you could do that in. In a lot of other countries in this world, you have to be a citizen to buy land in that country.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I agree with that. I don't think we should be selling to any foreign entity,
Mhm.
anything. No businesses, no properties, no anything. Or
Right.
the BG Foundation or whatever it's called now. No.
level of foreign interests that have purchased acres and acres and acres and acres. Like they don't have to come and invade us. Pretty soon, they will simply own all the land deeds.
Yes, because they keep changing the names and
Yep,
going through American citizens to do it, so it's like hid, and then all of a sudden, oh,
oh, wait a
China.
minute. Every single one of these owners are
Yeah,
YZ E's in Minecraft, like yeah, no,
yep.
it's
I think the last I heard was China owned 500,000 acres.
at
Something like,
least, yep,
yeah, I'm
yep,
sure it's more. They don't ever give us the right numbers.
You're right, and
fact,
that's just what we know of. They have their own citizens coming in and buying private houses next to military bases and all kinds of stuff
correct,
like that's going on. It's
Yep.
correct. And buying um, high rises, industrial buildings, like the acreage is one thing, but buying the properties in cities, right? You know what I'm saying? Like some of the businesses, high rises, the block of Fifth Street and Maple, which is everywhere in a downtown. Like they're buying us out block by block in the cities as well, not just with rural housing options. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
It,
goodness. I'm just reading some of the comments. Even Mexico doesn't allow foreigners to purchase land, property, or businesses unless they partner with a native with 51% stake.
huh?
And,
Yeah. There's
and in small towns, getting difficult. Yes, and I'm in a small town, 1,500 population, and yes, it's too hot to sleep in a vehicle. Been there, done that. So they have a bus that goes around in a few cities. They see if it's, and they buy it 1.9 million without going inside. See, they
Oh,
yeah.
just
like
doing it.
auction. Uh-huh.
I've had a
Well,
lot of that too, buying it sight unseen, cash
Mhm.
offers. And I mean, the sellers love that. Are you kidding me? There's no
well, of
inspection, no
course,
nothing. They're just going to throw money at you until you say, okay, enough, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and those other countries too, Japan, Thailand, they don't allow um, immigrants to come in either. They don't allow illegal immigrants. That's like no.
Or even visitors, like try going to Saudi Arabia, try going to
Yes,
EAU, try going to any of those countries on vacation. It
yes,
ain't happening. You can't go
yeah.
there without an invitation.
That's
Right.
right. Yeah, that's what um, my son-in-law. He said that if he was to take any of us over to Hungary, that we could stay there for 6 months, and then that's it. Then you either become a citizen or you go back.
Yeah, a lot of European countries are like that. You have to get a visa if you stay more than 30 days. And
Yes,
Right.
I mean, it's usually not a big deal if you're an American visiting there. It's just money. You pay them, and that's usually what it is. It's a stamp in your passport. You give them the money, and you're good.
Yeah. It comes down to the money.
Yeah.
oh
And
wow.
a lot of people can disappear. They come in and disappear. It's possible.
Yeah,
Go gray.
I don't know. It and maybe because y'all know how I feel about the border. I have not kept it a secret. I've
Right.
been griping about this border for quite some time now, and I guess I was just sitting here like just I was reading some news from the border, and um, like this one woman and her two children drowned in the river. They're making it harder to cross, and then a pregnant woman got caught in the razor wire, and she died. And so it was just heartbreaking. It was just heartbreaking to me. These people, for whatever reason, they're still humans, and it's it is such a sad situation that Ding Dong Magoo up there has created, and it's really hard not to feel ill everything towards him, but in his administration or whoever is doing it, whoever is doing this, it is it's criminal. They keep saying we're inhumane for not letting them in, but then this is what is happening. So I'm sitting here going through all this in my head, and then that it's like all of that was just erased away, and it was New Jerusalem, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, and I kind of had to look and see where that even came from, and then it was like, what if, and what if, um, I don't know, uh, what if that's what we're going to be judged on? What if, it's like all these thoughts start coming like, um, okay,
Oh,
I think
maybe, but
it's a
I don't know
different,
because sorry,
it's
did I
okay.
cut you off?
I was done.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say it's not like they're coming through the front door, right? Like if they, you take it upon yourself to take this journey. You know it's illegal. You know you're gonna have to go through rivers, cross borders, jump fences, whatever it is. It's a danger, right? You're hiring
Yes,
coyotes to get you there, right? Basically, right? Like
yes,
that. It's not like you're signing up to come in through the front door and do things the right way. You're assuming that risk when you take those actions. Like if I wanted to sneak into Canada for whatever reason, I would never do that. I'm not even that big of a fan, not a hater, but nevertheless, right? Like
yeah,
I could drive along, drive up the road, go through the checkpoint, show my paperwork or whatever. Or in theory, I could walk along the border, find a hole in the fence, jump through and just run for it, right? But in
hmm,
doing so, I know what the potential consequences could be, right? I could lose my
yes,
life, right? So in one hand, I can appreciate what you're saying, and I have no hate for anybody that has no hate for me or anything like that. I love everybody up to the minimum standard our Lord expects of us, right?
yes,
Just as a fair disclaimer, you know.
Minimum standard. I like that.
That's right. That minimum standard, y'all have it. Don't worry. But it's like if I do something, if I need something from my neighbor, if I need a cup of sugar from my neighbor, I can go up to the front door, knock on their door, and say, "Hey, I need a cup of sugar," right?
yes,
Or I could wait till it's nightfall. I could sneak in the back, try to jam, Jimmy open their back door, sneak in, and just take the cup of sugar myself,
Right.
right?
right.
So
I
if someone
understand.
comes here and says, "Hey, I need this," it's one thing to be presented with that opportunity to help somebody. It's another thing to have it shoved down your throat, I suppose.
Well, I agree. There is a due process that
Yes,
that is what we should enforce, is that due process of um, coming here. But I question a lot how much this is thrown in our faces for the heartstring pull. I've seen a lot of articles this week about I think it was like a long string of buoys put up along the river
yes,
there, and so and so died, and then you see about families doing this, and they put up all the videos of mothers and children screaming and running, and it's like, somewhere in between that is the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yes, and yes, you're right about that too. And that's the thing. Okay, like I'm probably 100 miles from the checkpoint, and so I'm not seeing it here, which is good. I mean, Um, they're the travel route seems to be south of me through San Antonio, through Houston, but my cousins that live on the coast are starting to see, and so they're close to Corpus Christi. It just depends on the areas where you are in Texas that are really being affected. El Paso and Eagle Pass, I feel so bad for them. McKinney, um, these cities that they are just destroying, and so that I have no clue what to do about all that. I mean, that's up to the National Guard, the Operation Lone Star. We've got the Patriot thing. I can't remember what they're called now. So there's a lot of people down there trying to do all this. And so, of course, Texas is being sued over and over by the government because we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to let whatever they want happen, happen. And um, even other states are sending in their National Guard to help us too. So, but at the same time, while all this is going on down there, have y'all seen the plane loads that are coming in of the refugees from like Ukraine and um, is it Afghanistan? And so there's other countries that are being brought in like that, and who knows how many of them. And our government's paying for that.
We're paying for that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yes.
We're paying for that.
Taxpayers are paying for that, yes.
Right, right. That's
That
what chaps be. Yeah.
and that always happens in these situations. Like those are political asylum cases, right? Like the people coming from Ukraine. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just kind of spitting it out because I know this is how it works. It's happened during communism. The United States opens up its border. Anybody that renounces communism stands against it. It's for freedom as well
Yes.
here, right? They're politically persecuted or religiously persecuted or whatever in their homeland. The United States gives them safe harbor. So I mean, for whatever reason, they're considering Ukraine and some of these other countries the same way. I suppose the only not so bad thing about that I see is that those people are accounted for. We know who they are. You know what I mean? They're not just sneaking in per se. They're documented up to some point, right?
I can see that
Yes,
argument. Mhm.
But the folks that are just kind of sneaking in at night could be anybody.
true. And it is. That's last I heard we had 150 countries here now.
Yep.
So if the military goes there, refugees come here.
Yep.
Hmm. No, it's a mess. I don't know.
It really is. I'm sitting here thinking about just all the different little facets and everything going on right now. Mess is the only thing I can really.
Yeah.
It is.
And that's, I've heard 600,000, no, 600 million, because then that would be double the population here already. And we see the strain on the Americans already because of the disappearance of food factories and farms and what have you. So we know what this is going to cause. And I'm just afraid it's going to turn out bad. That that people are going to get fed up, which I think they have shown great control in not getting too fed up.
Well, there's an argument to be made that people should get fed up. We should
Yes.
get fed up. Um, throwing that out there, but with everything that we
That was,
see going on, right? Is there
yeah,
anywhere else you would rather be? I'm not talking about your state, but I'm just talking about the USA, right?
right.
Is there anywhere else that you would rather be? When I look
Yeah.
around the world at other countries and what's going on in general, I believe we are still in the best country in
Country.
the world.
I do too.
So
Absolutely.
we've got to bear that in mind and I don't want to say militant words. I'm just saying like we need to bear in mind we all love this country and we believe it's the
Yeah.
best place to be. And a lot of people from other countries think we're the best place to be, and that's why they try to get here. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
and some of
Exactly.
them have bad intent, but not all of them. Some of
Right.
Yes.
them have good intent of just like, dude, this is the best place that I can identify on the globe. I'm gonna swim my way there.
Yes.
And naturally, there's the bad ones that we know that there's
Well, and
nefarious
that's
people being snuck over. But
right. And that's how we all got here anyway,
Right.
is
fact,
coming to the promised land because that's what it, and I've heard other countries saying we're the beacon. That's why the French and all of them are rooting for us, and they're like, this is how you do it, and so I honestly believe that's what the plan was for 1/6 was to keep us tamped down.
mhm,
I just
that was pure theater.
Yeah.
That
yes, it
that was
absolutely was. It was set up from the get go,
Yeah.
100%.
and so were the arrests, and
Mhm,
it
mhm.
was all just to keep us in line. I think because now a lot of people are like, you know, they're even afraid to go out and protest because nobody wants to go to jail.
Yep.
But to get 2 million people doing it, where are they going to put them?
Right. Well, and it was a fear tactic, but the difference I would say is, DC, it's the District of Columbia. It's not technically part of the Union, if you will, right? Like it's a different land. If I were to, let's say in Minecraft protest, I'd surround that shithole of a swamp and say, nah, you stay right there and don't do you ain't, that's as far as you go. You keep your
Right.
policies and all your stuff right there in your own little DC area, and you ain't coming here into the rest of the 50 states. But
Yeah.
that's in
Agreed.
Minecraft, all that. But
Certainly.
I
Well,
just,
Warren said earlier, we have many homeless people here, including vets. Let's help our own first. Um, Warren, I agree. And the funny thing is, well, funny, not funny, is that a majority of our homeless are vets,
Yes.
and they are trained, and
Yeah.
they are, one could opine that they were held down so that they could not cause trouble, right?
Yeah.
Put it
Thank you.
delicately.
Yeah.
Hey, Nut House. But yeah, as far as helping the homeless and the vets, you can't assume that these are all just worthless, lazy, drug addict people. We have to consider where they come from and how they got there. And the sad fact is, a lot of them are our veterans. The way that we treat our veterans in this country is deplorable. Deplorable. Even the ones who stay in the system and get their VA medical and get their different things, it's still a shit show of a system for them to get uh, care in
You
an efficient.
know,
yeah.
um, So what Apple Dumpling's saying, because the grand jury is no joke. Um, I don't know if you mean constitutionally. Um, that's what the assembly and the grand jury of the Constitution is, and so yes. But I'm afraid that we're out of time. It's like to, to get what is needed in each state for that to happen. Um, it takes time, and I don't know if we have enough time. And sorry, Dee, if you're out there hearing that, but
Time's relative.
and that's true. And none of us know. I mean, I can remember at the beginning of this feeling like rush, rush, rush. You know, you got to get this done now. You got to get it done now. And so I was like, okay, what do I need to buy first? And I'm going to all these channels. What's the first thing I need? And thankfully, there's been some amazing people all through this community that have helped with um, telling me what's needed. And thank you very much, Silver Girl. It's good to see you, sweetie. Um, so I started out small. First thing I built was a fire kit. That's pretty easy to do. Kitchen matches was a nightmare to find. And I was like, kitchen matches of all things, who would have thought? And so I have slowly built up some things, but not near what everyone kept saying, in the flipping community. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to drive myself nuts here if I keep on doing this. And I had to just step back and say, I have faith, and I know that whatever is needed, it will be provided. I have to just keep thinking that. And but also at the same time, I know that I need to be doing also. I can't just sit back and it'll come knocking on the door. I'm not real sure about that. But
Well, I don't think you're wrong. I think all you have to do is what you can do. Oh,
yes.
sorry. What were you saying, Virginia? I'm sorry.
I don't think we should live in fear.
No,
Right.
no fear. It was just feeling rushed. I don't know why I just said that really rushed feeling, like it was just panicking to try and get it all done, and you know to go out and get generators and water systems and all this stuff. It was like all I'm seeing is dollar signs just piling up that I don't have. And so that's where I had to just step back and say, okay, no. Laying this at his feet, and he knows what I need, and but at the same time doing my part to get through each month, just whatever we got to do.
Yeah, I think the biggest fear our government has is for us to actually get along with all these folks. You know what I mean? Like, what if we
Yes.
all understood each other and got along just fine? We wouldn't need them. They're the ones causing the division between everybody and the fear and the panic. We're willing to work. Look at us, right? We're talking about it. We're hashing it out, if you will. They don't want that. They want us to fear each other, be scared of everything.
Agreed. Fear is the weapon.
Yep.
It is.
Bonnie was saying, well, I went and I thought about, well, I need to get a generator or this or that or whatever. As far as SHTF goes, it may look different for everyone. It might not be the same for me as it is for Bonnie or Ronan or anyone else here.
Yeah.
So do what you work with what you are reasonably faced with. Um, but that fear, man, it is put into our news and our propaganda. It is put into our communities to have that cortisol just pumping. This is it. There's a weird boat over here, or there's a weird plane on this grid, or there's whatever. You can get doomed
Yes.
and make yourself sick over it.
Yes.
Just do what's reasonable for what's around you. Prepare if your area has a lot of hurricanes, and prepare for that. If your area has, a lot of this or that, prepare for that.
And that's what most
But
people do anyway. I mean, if you go to Florida and you look at what they have because of the hurricanes, they're pretty much usually prepared for that. Like they'll be stocked up on stuff. People who live like us, okay, we have a small grocery store and we have a Dollar General, but um, we have a farmer's market, and that's what we just had a new one that joined the farmer's market, and they sell beef, pork, chicken, and others. I'm sure it's like rabbit. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the others are. I haven't been there. They'll be there Saturday. I'm going to check it out. And so that's a lot of what I've been doing is looking around me to see what is available out there. Also, if I need to fall back on that, because at the farmers market they sell the vegetables. Even if I just get the vegetables to um, use for seeds. Seeds are like a big one,
Mhm.
and then water. Um, there's a way that you can collect water out of the air. So these humid places, because we're not having any rain, so rain collection isn't happening. And
When you can collect condensation if you got,
yes,
100%. Yep.
yes, or you can dig a hole in the ground and put plastic over it. There's ways of doing it, and that's where the knowledge comes in. That I have been so appreciative of this community because it's just simple things like that. Ark Wildman, I've learned a lot from him. Um, there's a bunch of them out there that they just they know how to do it where it isn't costing you a fortune.
Oh my goodness. I When some things happened about 3 years ago, I really got into more gardening videos and whatever. Ark Wildman was the first
Mhm.
person I ever subbed to in this entire community and all the branches of it. It was Ark Wildman. And because of what he does, how he identifies things and just
Yes,
his whole way, right? He was the first person, and it led me to a lot of other avenues eventually or whatever. But
yes,
mad respect for him, and I agree. Like learn your local plants, your things, like we talked about a bit ago, the herbs in your yard that or
mhm,
weeds, as they say. Um, all of that stuff, like we can take control of this fear that's always put at us by knowing what you can do, what's right around you. Like I did a
yes,
bunch of potatoes this season that, man, there's nothing more satisfying, even if you only get a handful of potatoes or let's say zucchini or something that you grow. You're learning the process. Do that. That's how you take control of what might come. Today, we're all okay. We're fine. We're
Yeah.
good.
yes,
Me and you have a full belly, right?
Yeah.
But
yes,
learn the skills. Do one plant at a time. But get their little nuances. Know what your area is capable of growing, and take control of what you know you can do if you have to do it.
yeah. And thank you, Actions Not Distractions. Welcome. And Kino, thank you for putting that link. Um, yeah, that's the main thing is just, and so in doing that too, then thinking, okay, these people who are coming from other countries,
Hmm.
they may have some knowledge we don't have,
Oh,
or
for sure.
we may have some knowledge they don't have.
Yep.
And we can, and there are ways to, hate to say it, work in the system to get through those barriers, because there's a lot of languages and we don't know them. I sure don't. And but with the Hungarians, even the girls have shown me on your cell phone how you can do this translation, and um, it's either by voice or like they'll text in their language to you and then it'll translate to your language. There's ways of communicating, always. Look at the way back when they just did hand signals, and people understand. Hi,
Sorry,
Dita.
that really cracked me up. And my pronoun is blowy. I'm sorry. That cracked me up.
He's a mess. Did
He
y'all
is
see that
a hot mess.
they're trying to push you can't say husband or wife? Did y'all see that?
Oh, come on.
Uh,
A
Oh
couple
yeah.
of years ago, they were pushing that you couldn't say breastfeeding, you had to say chest feeding. And at the
Yeah.
time, I was breastfeeding my son, and I was like, wait a minute, it's offensive if I say I'm breastfeeding my son. I have to say I'm chest feeding my son to appease a man. I think not. I think not. You know.
No. It's
yeah,
all
we
that
don't.
ridiculous, and I'm just gonna say what I say, and
Right.
what are they gonna do? You know, that's where we take the stand. I think is just don't comply, just
Yeah.
don't.
We do the best we can to communicate
Don't
without.
have the bonus holes. Maybe that.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Bonnie, though, as far as, your farmers markets and, um, in my opinion, change is going to start local and spread from there.
Yes.
We're not
I
going to
think
take
we do.
Jabberwocky as its whole entirety. We've got to tear it down piece by piece, and it's in every. So that's your county. I'm talking to you and you and you and you and you, everyone in the chat, everyone here. It starts in your county. Go local, make that happen, because those are the people that graduate. Um,
Yes. Even
and
in
so
San
the local
Antonio,
markets and things like that.
yes, that um I mean, I don't know about all big cities, but I know in San Antonio they have a flea market. Don't know how often it is, but and that's where everyone gets together and they're selling all those things. It's just like old time market. Look for
Yeah.
bazaars or um I don't know, there's just all kinds of things where people are selling homemade breads or
Yep.
um and you can put them in the freezer. Just whatever you can find that you can freeze, dehydrate. I have been looking at how you can dehydrate on a limb out in the sun. We've got plenty of sun here. Take advantage of it. And it's,
Actually, you can. Yeah.
yeah,
People dry and out in the sun. Absolutely. I mean, like you say,
yep.
do your research on how much time and whatever, but for sure.
I've seen them do it with meats and green beans. They call it
Thin.
a leather leather belt or something, I don't know, but it's just threading the green beans together and hanging them out in the sun and letting them dry out there. And
Hmm.
so if you can do it with green beans, it seems like you could do it with other vegetables too.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've heard that with peppers, like you string them out
yes,
and them. Yeah.
yes.
Green beans, that's a great idea. Hell yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good idea too to keep in mind when you're at the farmers markets and these different places and you meet like-minded people to include them in your network, right? To keep them
Yes. Absolutely.
close. I think
Yep.
that's our most important, most crucial thing we could do, right? Like
Networking.
What? I just looked at one of the comments. Well, you would rather waterboarding? That just got mine. I was like, what? No. No waterboarding. I don't know what chat's talking about.
I'm not sure.
I think I lost that you earlier.
Right?
They're just having their own conversation over there. Oh,
So Double Dog is getting really philosophical. How come there is 100 names for boob, but only one name for brain? Um,
because men are. Never mind. I won't say.
well, there's two boobs, so we gotta reduce by 50%.
Well, there you go.
Boobs are better than brains, apparently.
They,
Hey,
well,
I'm not
they could
denying.
be.
No. Shoot.
No, but I mean, what do you mean only one name for brain? Like, hey, Shane. I
Hey,
mean,
Shane.
like the gray matter and the.
Oh, Shane.
Mrs. Bonnie, I only come up to say one thing to you, hun. I've always liked you and I've always missed you. And you know what, hun? Happy birthday. And I won't stick around, but all I'm going to say is happy birthday. And I heard it was your birthday, and I wanted to come say happy birthday. And I put it in chat, no one's seen it. So I just thought, well, shit. I'll just come up on panel and say it. But happy birthday, hun. And I'll get off of here so I don't interrupt y'all's show. But thank you for letting me up.
Well, thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it.
Not a problem, buddy. Anytime. Anytime. We'll talk to you soon, hon.
Take care.
You too, hon.
Oh, very sweet, Shane, for the happy birthday. That's very sweet.
That is, yeah, personal birthday greeting like that. It's always, I think it's the nicest way, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
Double Dog, I want to know about these green tights, but I'm going to leave Mr. Green alone.
Right? You guys keep that in the bedroom, all right? Don't bring that out in public.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that happened in Minecraft. Everybody knows that.
Eddie.
Oh, hey, Eddie. What's up?
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing great, good. How are we all doing?
Doing good.
Happy
Good.
birthday, honey. I'd just like to say,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
What?
good to see you.
So what are we talking about? What's going down?
Oh, we're solving the problems of the world.
Mhm.
Oh, we, as well we must. As well we must.
Okay, chat's getting a little weird, but
oh yeah, we're getting into the boob subject real deep now.
Yeah,
We're on it, bro. We're on it.
5 minutes ago.
hi, Bruce. Thank you.
It's good to see you, Eddie.
Okay, now I gotta read it.
But
Really? Do we have to get into that much detail, T?
Well, apparently
boobs are
boobs are more.
on a guy's chest and so on a woman as well. So
Yeah, boobs are more
we,
beneficial
we,
than
we can't
brains.
we can't differentiate sometimes.
Thank you, D Dog.
Yeah, D Dog, that's what I said too when I came in. I was like, it's your 29th birthday, right? 28, 29, something like that.
Yep, always.
21 and a half, and a half is your own business.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because each year I keep feeling better, so that's a good thing.
Huh. That's good.
That's
That is a good
awesome.
thing.
Yep, getting
Well,
stronger and moving around more and doing more things and
so I want
happy.
to ask Bonnie, if I may, like, what did you do for your birthday?
Well, my birthday's actually today
Oh,
now that
okay.
it's yep. So I haven't done anything really yet.
All right.
Did get some sweet presents, but um, hey Brew, thank you so much. um, one of my daughters is getting me a steak dinner. I think is what she had said. We
Mm.
she was gonna. Oh well, yeah. That's what she's doing, and I don't know yet. I'm sure they will figure out something to surprise me. They're always good at surprising me or embarrass me, one or the other.
Oh, that's so sweet, though. A steak dinner. There's nothing better.
Oh, I know.
Right? That's great.
Steak is my favorite.
Girl, yes.
Yeah, I hope you have a great day, and like and be wined and dined as the birthday lady should.
Thank you, Eddie. This is great. That's I was just like, I think I'm gonna go live. I miss everybody. I haven't been going live a lot lately, and so I just wanted to see everyone. And so this is this is great for me. This is what makes me happy. Seeing all these good people and
And Tennessee is still stuck on boobs. Being starved about boobs. Yeah, it's true. Boobs make the world go round. You
thank you, Warren.
And if you don't mind, can I sing a song for like with you wouldn't mind?
Oh, I would love that, Eddie. Thank you.
It's yeah, it's a little tribute to you anyway, and I'll just get myself set up here. Right, you can talk away while I'm looking for stuff. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it goes a little bit something like this. Hold on a second. There we go.
Okay.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, riding early in their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. where tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, Bonnie. And I feel the way every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello, teacher, now what's my lesson? Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad, large in your world. Mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Mad world.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Eddie. That was great. And look who's in chat. Ed. The link's at the top.
Hey, good job singing that song, man. That was really good.
For sure.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
I normally hate karaoke, but you did a really good job.
Oh, he's more than karaoke. He's in the music community.
I was gonna say. I appreciate your talent.
I do
Yeah.
too. I always love to hear Eddie sing.
I'm not, I wouldn't be known as karaoke, or I'd be more live music. But and I mean, I've been playing like the last 34 years now, so
That's awesome. You do very well.
yeah. Just as I say, it's just a little ditty. As I like, I mean, I like to throw in like certain words that fit the narrative. So
Thank
I'm
you,
a,
Mahomes. You have a good night.
I'm a songwriter as well, so
Cool. Yeah, I used to like to write songs way back, but haven't done that in a long time.
Did you ever play an instrument, Bonnie?
I played the flute in high school, well, all through school.
Nice. That's
Um,
cool.
Was in the marching band and all that, but then some piano, some keyboard, because they have totally different sounds. Yes,
Right.
but kind of played around with the guitar. Never really stuck with it very long. But I have a huge family of musicians, and um, so when we have family get-togethers, there's always music.
Right. So it's in your soul to play and learn and do.
Yes, that's and music is good. Music soothes the soul. Music calms the beast. Music is I I guess y'all can tell I like music because all my titles are songs.
Mhm. Yeah, no, agreed. It is soothing. It hits your soul in a different way than a lot of things.
Anyway, I better step down, and I don't want to overstay my welcome.
Oh,
But
not at all.
I appreciate you guys for having me anyway. And
Thank you so much for coming up and singing that song. That was awesome.
That
yeah,
was
Um,
awesome.
yeah, it was great.
I thought it'd be nice to give you a little tribute song anyway.
Thank you.
But,
Well,
This is the keeper.
it's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank
Blessings.
you. Come back up again whenever you can.
Absolutely. Take care.
You too.
what about you, Ronan? Did you ever play a instrument or?
I played the trumpet in high school and in college. It was
Cool.
it was a lot of fun. I got an opportunity to travel a little bit because of it. In college, we went to Germany, Switzerland, and Holland, and played there. And it was really. I don't think I would have had that opportunity to do that if I didn't play the trumpet. We
Right.
went to those countries. We stayed in people's homes, and it was just an amazing opportunity. Really.
So were you
That's
kind of like an exchange student for music?
No, I was just in band in college, and every 2 years we'd set up a trip to go on tour. And our band director had all these connections around the world. It was really amazing. And our school wasn't even like a music major. It wasn't even anything like that. So it was just people who wanted to play and join the band did. And then we played at high schools and stuff. And then every couple of years we went on tour that way. And I don't think I would have ever gotten to travel that way if I didn't do that. So it was just cool to have that opportunity. It's not like I was really good. I played second trumpet. There was always some like amazing musician above me. Don't get me wrong, but it's just,
right.
I just did it. It's all I practiced. I kept up with it, and it was fun.
Hi, Bruce. How are you?
Hey, Bruce.
Oh, that's debatable, really. Thought I'd jump in and give you guys an update on what's going on. I officially have a MDS, is what it's called. I got a bone marrow factory that's on strike. All three of my blood components are immature, and it's causing me a major malfunction. Like right now, before tomorrow or something, I'm going to have 2 units of blood. Not sure how many platelets I'm going to need, but I'm fighting on is what I'm doing and everything. What the bone marrow does, it makes mature blood cells white, red, and platelets so they can do their job, which mine is not, and everything. So that's what I'm up against right now. And I've also been referred to KU Medical Center in Kansas City for a possible bone marrow transplant also. So things are kind of looking up, but they're on top of it, which I am grateful for that, which a lot of times with all this stuff and my age,
it's sometimes it's come back and see me. Let's wait and see what happens. So I'm grateful for how they're handling it and everything. So it's awesome.
And that's good to hear that it's treatable and you're getting the help you need.
Yeah, this has answered.
Keeping you in prayer.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have a positive attitude about it, which is really good.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's at least I'm getting some answers on how I have felt the last let's see, 8 years, something like that at least. Because it was trying to come on before my wife passed away, and she passed away in 2017. I was starting to really go downhill about 2 or 3 years before that. Everything I just gradually got worse. Here I is today, so I'm just hoping everything keeps falling in place. So that's all I hope. Because it's
Yeah.
wiping me out. I'm totally wiped out right now. That's what it is.
But we'll keep praying and
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
you're here with us now.
I plan on being here for a few more years anyway, and
Right.
everything. Basically, what I tell people what's going on, or they can understand it a little better. I've got early stages of leukemia because of a bone marrow malfunction, is what it amounts to. Which it can turn into leukemia about any time. It depends on what goes on.
yeah.
I don't want that, but if it is, there ain't nothing I can do about it. So just keep plugging along and
Yeah. You can
doing
eat
what I
clean
need to
food
do.
and eat clean food, drink clean water. That's something you could do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do anyway, but
Yeah.
limited funds at the moment. And also, when I got my Medicare supplement plan and everything, I was offered a cancer policy through Mutual of Omaha. And back then, I didn't know what was going on with me and everything. And at the time we talked about it on the phone, I really wasn't that bad. Do I spend the money or not spend the money? This has been going on since June, July of 22 or October of 22, and I've already went past the waiting periods and everything on. So I got to get my paperwork done and sent in to get the finances in order and start living like a human being again instead of basically homeless. I got a home, but I feel like I'm homeless. If you can relate.
Recluse. You're kind of stuck there.
Well, for what it's worth, they can take you out of there. Because of your age and your medical condition, they really will have a hard time of removing you. Stand on that. Fuck
Yeah.
them. You don't owe them a thing.
What they told me, I've talked to KU Med Center twice up in Kansas City. And they told me if and when I go in, they're going to nuke my blood meal that's in me, which is going to take me down and could possibly get an infection. Because they're going to basically sterilize me is what they're going to do. And the most difficult deal that I have is the transportation part of it, because it's about 400 miles from where I live. And she told me today that I got to have how'd she put it? It's not a guardian, it's a caregiver for at least 100 days, 24/7 for things to work. So that's my two obstacles right there. And I'm going to be talking to a social worker on
What
the
state are you in,
31st.
Bruce?
Do what?
What state are you in?
Kansas.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk to a social worker that's affiliated with the hospital and see what they can offer and get everything done. And I'll do some investigating on my end and see what we can come up with. But those are the two main obstacles I got: is transportation and caregiver for at least 100 days after we do the transplant. So
Wow.
seems like a challenge at the moment and everything. And I just look at it. I'm going to make it one way or the other and see what happens anyway, because that's what I'm doing.
Do you have an advocate, a patient advocate for you?
No. What they call it. Let me get out my.
Did you see Cindy's comment, Bruce?
No, not yet.
She said everyone that she knows that has been treated for leukemia has been successfully treated and fully recovered. But it is a journey.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
I think you're toughing up to it.
Some days I wonder, ladies. Some days I wonder.
I know.
Yeah, some of the appointments I've had, I'm able to walk around, but I have a hard time standing up and holding my body up, is what it is. And
Yes.
I've had to be wheeled around in a wheelchair about 3 times on certain appointments within the last month and a half because I was too weak to stand up. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to have a
lot of humans.
telehealth on the 31st for the intake. Be talking to the doctor and the social worker and the financial side of it. So that's what's going to happen a little bit later and everything. So, but at least I'm moving forward instead of being in limbo and not getting any answers. Getting answers is awesome, believe me.
Yeah. Hi, D Dog. How are you?
Okie dokie.
Hey, Doc.
Hey,
How's the birthday girl?
I am great.
Did you get your spankings?
Ooh, I
Whoa.
love that. Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay. Then maybe you haven't been a good girl all year. Well, I understand a spanking is reward after the age of 30.
but she's only 29, so
Yeah,
she-
29.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Oh, what it is with these spankings.
Oh, were you in line? Yeah.
Well, if you don't get it, then I'm not going to explain it to you. You're on your own.
just wait a year, Bonnie. You'll get it once you turn 30. It's just it comes with age.
Okay, I'm back.
Hi, Warren. How are you?
Hey, I don't know how good it's going to hold up. My data's kind of low and the service is kind of crappy tonight because of the
Hey, Warren.
weather, basically.
Sound all right.
But the wine is good. Real good. Yum, yum, yum. I was sitting back. I've been enjoying the show. I think I've been here since, almost since it started. I think I came in about the 14-minute area.
Yeah, I've been seeing you in chat. Thank you for showing up.
Hey, I enjoy, what y'all do. It's just cool. Talk like real people, enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Just talk about what's going on in the world, but don't get all easy about it. Oh, well, this is what's going on. and ain't a whole lot. Ain't really a whole lot we can do about it, is it?
I'm
Not a
looking at
whole
the
lot.
dog like, I know what he's fixing to say.
So y'all like to just play a little something. If so, I love doing improv. Somebody give me a title for a song or an idea for a song. And I'll play a little something for you.
Ooh, rock on.
Okay. Um, I can't think of a title right now.
I got one.
Oh no.
Go
The wheels on the bus.
Oh,
I thought it would be Baby Shark.
My version is going to be a little different than the original.
Oh, okay. Then going on a bear hunt.
Okay, going on a bear hunt.
Menominant, Baby Shark.
no, baby, no. Can't believe you just said
Wait a minute, I forgot to turn my mic on.
that was
Well, I was back messing around on the old mountain. Went down to the river. I was going on the beaver hunt. Well, I was having pretty good luck when everything run. Well, I was chasing that cute little beaver, you see. Now, a cotton picking bear chased me up an old oak tree. Well, I didn't get the beaver, you see. All I got to do was sit up in the tree and look down at the damn old bear. Well, the bear finally give up on me. All back down out of the old oak tree. I took off running up that riverside. And what do you know? There was that little beaver back by my side. No, see, she was young and long and lean. And unlike that bear, she was not very mean. That was the most trouble I ever got into. Going hunting beaver, you see.
Thank you, Warren.
that was cool. Yeah.
Y'all ain't ever heard crotch crickets, have you? Y'all got to look it up sometime. It's on my channel. I,
Yep.
that was me and Sarah and Randy Fripp one night, and she come up with some kind of title that made me want to write crop. We about all of us about rolled laugh. I mean, it was just funny, and it wasn't actually about life. It was about red bugs, which made which made it even funnier.
Is that like chiggers?
Uh,
Oh, okay. Yep.
I'll tell you what, I'd rather get whatever everybody calls crab lice than to get chiggers. It takes you a week to get rid of chiggers. You can get rid of crab lice in a hurry.
True. Well, put your link in chat, so everyone check Warren's channel out.
Hmm. Oh, that one's good. It really. I wish you could see the bubbles on it. It's like low grade moonshine. It's about, I want to say 40 proof. It's close,
Cool.
but it tastes so good. Ooh, it's good. All homemade. I made about
Las
I think
Virginia.
I think 28 gallons is what I made the last time. About ready to start another batch of it. I can't keep it. People find out I got it. It starts. Man, you got any wine? Got any wine? Next thing I know, it's all just about gone. Eddie must have went to bed. Uh-oh, did my mess lock up?
No.
No, I can hear you. I'm sorry, I was typing
Oh,
Virginia.
okay. My data's low and my service is questionable right now because I'm just using an old cell phone. And, there's only one tower I can reach, and if the weather gets a little bit nasty, it'll drop in and out. It gets over. But it seems to be working okay tonight.
Yeah, it was cutting out a little bit whenever you were playing, but
Now that might be due to the fact that I was running that big old amplifier.
oh, okay.
It might have been doing what? Well, I'm old hammer operator. That's what we call FM clipping. If overdoes it on the audio, it just kind of click, 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 and then it'll come back.
Yeah.
So if it was doing that, that was my fault. The amplifier a little bit too high. I do like my setup though. I gotta know. It's an old it's called a TV backstage clip. It's 35 watts with a 12-inch speaker in it. I bought it at a garage sale, and the microphone I bought it at flea market, and I actually stole that microphone. I checked on the price of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a Fender P51, and I found out after I bought it, I only gave $20 for it. It's worth 225 or 230. So very nice microphone.
Nice. And that's what you play the harmonica with?
Yep, yep. A lot of people don't believe it, but
That's awesome.
everybody else seems to like the green bullet or the golden. I play with that, and they go, "What in the hell are you using?" And I tell them, and they're like, "For real?" It just set up between the amplifier, that microphone, and my style of playing. They match.
That's cool.
I've even learned to play with my nose. Y'all can thank Judge Smith for that. He gave me the idea because I seen him play with his nose one time. Yeah, I can do that. And I started doing it. At first, this was a joke, but several people saying, "Don't stop doing that. You're so damn good at it." I said, okay. I've done 2 or 3 little videos on my channel. Me playing with my nose.
What
Or
song does
just
your
try
nose
that.
play?
What's that?
I was asking what song does your nose play?
Oh,
Anything. It don't
we're
matter.
losing you, Warren.
Oh no, it's clipping.
Oh, I thought it would be the boogie.
works a little better if I use the microphone. I can't quite get the volume out of my nose till I get with just playing regular.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not hearing you at all now, Warren.
Wow, really? See, how about if I let's see, I'll pick up those B flat, see if this works. No?
Heard that. Yep, I heard that.
No, okay. Well, I just wasn't talking loud enough then. Oh, we got anybody else wants to play some music? No takers? Okay. Well, I woke up early this morning, and a hot summer sun was shining down. I picked up an old beer that I done set down. And to my dismay, this is what I see. You know, there was a big old bug done died in my bed. I thought to myself, well, what am I going to do this day? An old bug done ruined my beer, you see. Well, I turned it upside down. Noticed the bug floated to the top. I thought to myself, I can still drink this beer, you see. But somebody else can have that last swallow. Because I don't want that bug in me. Just messing around.
That's cool.
That's what I do. I like messing around with improv. I come up with an idea, I'll write a little something to it. I went on stage with a band. God, I'd been since I've been on stage. But I was just kind of in a mood to do it. And I'd introduced myself at the first of the night. Told me I played harmonica, and the band leader pulled me over to the side. He said, play me a few licks. And I said, all right. So I did. He said, you get ready, come on up here. You can play. I said, all right. So I messed around there for a couple of hours. And I was playing darts with a fellow over there, was having a ball doing that. And I said, well, I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna do something. I might get chased out of here, and we might have a little fun. Don't know. I pulled out my old G and my C harp. Went up to the stage. Nobody played lead guitar. Come on. I took the microphone off the stand. I looked out there at the crowd and I said, well, what I like doing is improv. Anybody got any ideas? And everybody just got quiet. The lead guitarist, he looked at me and he had about 3 good licks. And I said, yeah, I can go with that. And I started playing. And if you've ever played with a band, you got to understand one thing. You got to listen to what they're doing as well as them listening to you. So I started watching where he was going on the fretboard, but I stood right in front of him to hear what he was doing, and it worked perfect. We been out for about 7.5 minutes, and we wound it. We wound it 7 something minutes. I don't know how long it was. It's our own version of George Young. He top brothers. That's what we wound it up with. I was playing in the key of G with them playing right along with. I mean, they did. They was good, and the damn crowd loved it. There were about 300 people in that bar, and they just loved it. I had a fucking ball. It was fun, and I could not buy beer after that. No, I wanted the beer. It was paid for. Somebody paid for it.
Yep. No, good live music, man. There's nothing better.
Oh man, it was magic. And I told the band that I turned around. I still had the mic in my hand. And I just turned around and looked at all of them. I said, "That was magic." And they said, "I agree." They said, "You want to play again? Catch us somewhere. We'll bring you right up."
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you, baby.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, welcome back, huh?
I had to restart and everything. It was crazy.
These Bluetooth things, it'll go really well, and then it'll switch back to in-call volume, and it drops to about half of what it was. I can still hear y'all because it's kind of quiet in there. I tell you what's funny though. I don't know if I ever told you all this or not. I'll be sitting in there and be hot. I have window or two open. I had the amplifier cranked up to cut the fool a bit. I'll go outside and I'll see everybody in the whole neighborhood sitting out under the porch, so they can hear me playing. I'm like, cool. I ain't never had the cops come up, but I keep going out, and if I'm playing, they sit down there listening. I thought that was cool as hell.
Thought you were alone.
I reckon I'm doing something a little bit right. I got one guy over one town over. My he calls me up every Thursday. Want me to come over to his Paulson place. He's a man. He's a black man. He's my age, about 60, and he plays rhythm guitar. He plays bass, and we run into each other. We started jamming geez, every weekend when we come up there. We had he lives in kind of a Louisville close neighborhood, not his yard's like 2 acres. We was out there one evening, and I killed my PG amp and my slide 6 string and fell harmonica. And we got out there and started playing. The next thing we know, we had 10 in the yard. And ever since then, he wants me to come out there and play just every weekend. And I ain't gonna say I'm a great guitar player, but I'm messing with it. I'm starting on it. I do like the harmonica. As far as guitar, I ain't like radio. Yep, but listen to it because it's good.
Bruce, do you see what Ed put? I have
Let
it
me look.
open.
Yeah,
Let me
I'm just reading
look
it.
here.
That's why.
I'm kind of in and out. I lay my head on the table. Okay. Helps with leukemia, milk thistle, Korean red, ginseng, turmeric, olive leaf. Only thing I've got is turmeric right now. And I'm really strapped for cash. I can even pay all my bills right now and everything. So it's driving me up the wall.
Yeah.
A little good weed don't hurt nothing either.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
I
gonna
got.
say that ACDC strain is supposed to help what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some horse paste also here and everything.
The
So
only thing I do other than little beer, a little wine, is a little weed. And the reason I
yeah,
love it is it does two things for me. It helps me sleep good, and it makes me eat like a horse.
yeah, I got
Yeah.
some gummies is what I've got also that
Oh,
aren't THC.
those are great. Those are great. Eat them up.
Yeah, I've got those, but they're not THC because I'm not sure how I'm going to react or anything. The first time I did that was through the smoking of it, and boy, did it jack me up first time out.
Yeah, you got to be
Well,
careful.
Yeah, that's why I do the gummies with the CBD and all of that. I've taken them before and I feel pretty good, but I just got to be
yeah,
careful.
the gummies just kind of level you out. If you're gonna
Yeah,
smoke real weed, just take it easy. Your body will tell you how much you need. Uh,
Yep.
it,
yeah,
uh,
I've got to
man,
get them.
when I was younger, man, I'd take about 3 hits off of a joint, and I was high as a kite. Now
Yeah,
I can eat the joint and it won't bother me, but
Excuse me
I
just a
don't
minute.
I don't do that much. I mean, it's like if I buy $20 worth, which might be a gram or two, it'll last me a month because
Stephanie and
I don't
Rusty,
do it.
good to see
That's
you.
something I
Thank
don't.
you.
I, I don't do it every day. It's just one of those. If I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll pack me a little bowl and I'll go to sleep. I'm good. Then I'll wake up the next morning ready to eat the whole thing.
yeah,
That's funny. A
I'm
lot
in
of
one of the
people.
states. Yeah, I'm in one of the states that's unfriendly.
Oh, it's not legal here, but I don't mind saying that I smoke a little here and there.
Yeah, I talk
So
about it all I want, but as for in my possession at the time here, no. It's an unfriendly state. I can go south about 40 miles and be okay, and west about 100 miles and be okay. And where
Is
I'm at,
Oklahoma?
what state you in, if you don't mind me asking?
Kansas, dead center of the USA.
Oh, good lord,
Thank
you're
you,
long way.
Rusty. Good evening.
I'm in South
Good morning.
Appalachia over here on the east side,
Where do you live? Are you cut out?
South Carolina on the east side.
Okay.
I'm only about if I could ride straight, I'm only about 60 miles from Myrtle Beach.
I've been through that area up there when I drove a semi and stuff. I run all over the USA and everything for a while, and then I think what's going on with me right now is what took me out. The reason I can't drive no more and things because
Oh,
this has been going on for quite a while and everything. Not sure how many years, but the last I can remember where I lived at the time, 2009, 2010 in Oklahoma, south of Tulsa, or south of Bartlesville, north of Tulsa, and all of that. And I just had to quit because I couldn't take it anymore. And all of that, you
Damn,
don't mix 80,000 pounds being dizzy and stuff. That's just a stupidity.
damn, I could have a song to that. That's pretty cool.
So
You need to jot down some of this stuff. I could have wrote a song to that. Something like, yeah, I was stuck outside Memphis, Tennessee. No truck and me, we just could not agree. I got dizzy, so I pulled over to the roadside. Vision Lord, I can make it to the other side. Yeah, I could write a song to that.
you're pretty talented, Warren. Thank you.
Well, it's just something I just love to do it. I think that's why it's
Yeah, that's how a lot of them get started, just with a conversation and something hits for a suggestion, and there you go.
yeah, and I mean, once I got pretty proficient at playing the harmonica, that's where I started going. I was like, I'll make a song out of it, and I got pretty damn good at it. I mean, not bragging or nothing. It's just something I enjoy doing.
When you got it, you got it. That's all it amounts to, and enjoy it. Not all of us are blessed like some people are that can do several different things and all of that. But that's
My
awesome.
most of my life, I've been a engine mechanic, whether it be lawnmowers, motorcycles, mopeds, racing bikes, cars. Didn't matter. That's, that's mostly what I've done most of my life, and I'm still damn good at it. I just slacked off of it a little bit. Started messing around with the music some. I
Yeah,
have learned a little bit on the piano.
Yeah, I've done a lot of different things over the years for making a living and everything, and I don't know which one I enjoyed the best, but basically I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I try to solve the problem with whatever I get my hands on, and that's what I do.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's me. As far as working on stuff, I go into it and I said, all right, how does it work? And then I take that little bit of knowledge and I teach it. That's me.
Yeah. You really think about a lot of stuff starts out with some basics and then you branch off from there and whatever you're doing and everything, but it starts out that way and keep things going and everything else.
Yeah,
Sure,
but like
some of the skills you need are, you need knowledge for some of it, and other things, you can go right into it cold turkey and get her done.
And yeah, get her done like Larry. I like the ones who old Larry does that. Somebody do something stupid and they say, you know what? It made about much sense as wiping before you poop. I heard that, I about rolled. I said, damn. And old Ron White, you can't fix stupid. That's my favorite from him.
Well, I think I'm going to go into standby mode and listen here, and got to lay my head down on my table again. So we'll just be listening. If I hear something I want to comment on, I'll jump back in.
Well,
May the good Lord bless you, brother.
Thank you. May the good Lord bless you and everybody in chat, and God bless, and thanks for letting me come up, Monty. I appreciate all you guys.
Thank you so much for coming up, Bruce.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to go ahead and close this down since it's been about 3 hours. And
Wow.
yeah, um, but I really appreciate all of y'all that have come up on panel and the birthday wishes. Thank you, everybody in chat. Y'all are all so amazing. Love and miss y'all.
Miss you too, Bonnie.
All right. Well, all of y'all have a good night.
Anytime, anytime that I can come up and hang out with y'all, I will. Good community, good people.
Okay, Warren. Appreciate you coming up and playing and visiting with
Oh,
us.
I like to cook the food. I love it.
Yeah, God bless everybody. Have a good night, and you guys be careful, and we'll do her again. I'm going to jump out of here, Bonnie. Have a good night, hon.
Okay, thank you.
No,
You too.
take it,
God
And
bless
enjoy
take it
your
easy.
birthday today. Hope it has an awesome birthday today.
I'm sure it will be. Just as long as the Lord lets me wake up, it's a good day.
Yes, that is very true.
Oh
Well,
yeah, any day above the ground is better than one under.
yeah,
Yes,
you guys take care, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.
you too,
All right,
Bruce. Thank
take
you.
it easy.
All right, all of y'all. Y'all try to be good. Garrett and Ridge Runner, don't beat each other up too bad. That was a good one, Garrett, by the way. Hope y'all have a good day. Try to get some sleep. Love y'all and God bless you. Good night.
All right, I'm gonna play us out of here. You just go ahead and chop it in, Danielle, please.